yesterday is gone. Forget about tomorrow and the ceilings you see right through. Find the moment and make it. Write your headline and raise it to the sky. No one else can create it. Take your banner and raise it to the sky.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us again, and if you have never been here before, welcome. This week we've got some pretty hefty boat projects that we're going to be tackling. One is AC, because it's getting pretty toasty here in this as the summer months are creeping up on us, and two is going to be putting that big monster breaker panel that I've been working on and planning for over a year now. So those two kind of go hand in hand, and without further ado, let's get to it.
All right, so this big plastic box that the breaker panel came in is not going to fit in our opening. So what you see here is me breaking down all of the marine grade ply that I'm going to use to build the new custom box that fits the space. What I'm doing now is using pocket hole jig and pocket holing all of the parts together. And then what I'm going to be doing is moving on to a waterborne polyurethane. This stuff produces a pretty hard, nice satin finish, makes it waterproof, and makes it look shiny.
All right, so we have all of the breakers lined out and where we're going to put them. So we know that the bottom three rows on this panel are going to have DC, 120 volt AC, and some 240 volt AC. Up top here, we are going to put a bunch of other controls in. So we've got our Victron Touch 50 that's going to go in there. And we have this really awesome tank monitor. And yes, this does do tank monitoring, but this also does wastewater tanks. So we're going to mount that in there. And then we are replacing, where'd it go? Our bilge pump and alarm switches. So we've got an auto function, of course, and a test function. And this guy will scream and holler if there's water in the bilge, so we know that we're taking on water if it ever happens. So what I'm doing is I've marked everything out in pencil, and I'm going to go through and drill all of the corners out with this small drill bit, and then I'm going to open up all of these larger holes with, like for our BMV here, and for the pumps, I'm going to open that up with bigger drill bits, and then I'll use the jigsaw to cut out the excess here. So.
Do you know what I especially love?
That I'm making a mess?
That you're doing this on the sunbed.
Well, it's kind of hot, and somebody overtook my utility room and my workroom, so I'm having to work out here.
Nobody overtook it. That's a lie.
You got stuff in there. It's not mine.
No.
Yeah. So yesterday we got started on the box. I got started on the box, and I built a marine grade plywood box that is going to house not only the breaker panel face, but also the bus bars in the back. But that panel looked like this, and we cut all the access holes for build switches and the touch screen and the BMV and all of that. But obviously we don't want to look at it like this, and all of our labels are going to be different. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some of this Avery matte black vinyl, and we're going to cover the front of this to cover all of the holes and give us a nice clean slate. Then I'll go back and cut the holes and install the equipment, and then in 2 days Kim will get all of her labels, and then she'll go through and label everything. So I just punched a hole. It's Kim's idea, is just stab a hole through the vinyl, and then it kind of grabs the screw. So this is our 120 volt. I'm just put all the ones in, all the top screws in, and then I'm able just to go back and fill all the retainer screws.
Are you so excited?
Sweet. So to all of you that are commenting on my, what did somebody call it, a spaghetti highway of wiring, it actually isn't as bad as it looks. all the wire that comes in, there's extra feet of wire on every single circuit, so that when I did pull everything up inside this box, that I had plenty of extra. So after everything gets zip tied and tied down, it's going to be way cleaner, which you'll see here in a little bit.
While doing our electrical panel, we decided to go ahead and hook up our salon air conditioning unit, and we have to cut another hole in the boat. You know how I love that, so yeah, here we go. So after a bunch of swearing in more tight spaces, where are we at with this install?
I'm just going to tear it out and do it again.
Because it was so fun the first time?
All right, so we have all of the intake and exhaust water plumbed in. We have power to the relay box, we've got power to the air conditioning, we've got the remote control hooked up, all the grounds are in place, signal wires, I think we're good. So the only thing I have to do is open up the valve. Oh, I already did that. Open up the valve to bring our raw water in. So really, the only thing we've got left to do is turn on the breaker and, well, a couple things. Turn on the breaker, turn on the AC, and then we can clean up our salon. Look at this freaking disaster. %64 humidity. It's 84 degrees inside.
Oh. Isn't that fancy?
All right, mode. Power is on.
I heard a big fan kick on.
See? Oh yeah, we got air coming through.
That's cold air.
That's cold. Cold, cold air. Sid, you want to touch it?
I did touch it when I got my computer charger.
Oh, yeah?
I did. It's
What do you think of that?
I think that if it's working, we should close the boat up so that
So the question is...
We're still generating power.
we turned on the air conditioning and we're still generating power.
Let's see what we're actually consuming.
No, this is awesome.
Well, in all fairness, we're generating 2,500 watts of solar, and we are using 1,900 watts of AC power.
But we're still generating more than what we're using while the air conditioning is running.
That's right.
Oh, that's amazing.
Here what I'm doing is I'm just punching and drilling some copper bus bar. I'm going to be using this bus bar to create positive power feeds for our stack of 12 volt and 120 volt breakers. They're over drilled slightly to make installation a little bit easier, and then I will continue to run screws down and phase them out. You'll see that the breaker bars are separated. Here, I'm doing some heat shrink tubing on the 240 volt circuits. I couldn't bus bar those because they're split phase, so what I had to do was run individual wires and then just heat shrink them together.
This is kind of scary and kind of exciting all at the same time.
It is kind of exciting. Exciting and scary.
A scary and exciting.
Scary. Yeah, so basically, this beautiful rat's nest that's here and here, pile of. We're gonna swap the panel over, and finally all of this is gonna get cleaned up. So we're gonna do a pretty quick swap. I'm just going to disconnect the main power cable and pull out the air conditioning. I'm gonna wire the air conditioning and the power cable back up again and fire the boat back up. And then that'll give me time just to sit here and put terminals on everything to get ready to hook up to the other breakers. And then we'll do another short power shut off as I then connect everything and clean everything up after all the wires are relabeled and all of that. But we don't want to sweat everybody out in the boat while...
I think it's most important that we don't want to sweat you out while we do this, because I need you focused.
I'm sure she's worried about me and not her. So, anyhow, that's what I'm going to do. I'm getting ready to turn all the power off.
Oh, God.
Well, it'll be the last time. Well, second to last time. Huh, poops. Yeah. All right.
Stella, he doesn't need your help. Back.
Are you ready, Kim?
No.
3.
Wait, no. Let's talk about this for just 1 second. No, I just want to make sure that you have... You're laughing. I'm not laughing. I just want to make sure that you have like checked and double checked and you have all your ducks in a row before we shut the power down.
Yeah, mostly.
No, not mostly. Like for real, all of it.
Really, I'm almost positive it'll be just fine. It's fine, Kim.
Seriously.
No air conditioning.
That was the air conditioning. Oh, that's not cool, Edna.
All right, everything's turned off in the boat.
All the AC
Inverter
load
is
turned
now
off.
off. So the only thing you're hearing running in the background, if you can even hear that, is our DC fans.
All the wires. What a disaster.
I think I got a little extra wire.
Well, yeah, there's...
So we've rerouted all the AC back up to the opening, the direction it needs to go. It's temporarily zip tied back till I get my final lengths, and then I will actually loom everything back so that there's a little bit of slack so we can open and close this breaker panel to access the Quattro, which I'll show you here in just a second. But in the meantime, to get the new panel in, I have to put it all back in the hole.
Oh, God.
Ah, Kim, look how beautiful that isn't.
That is a... Wow.
That is a pile of as we would say.
Horrible.
Okay. All right, Kim, can you hand me the panel? So I'll screw this in. I'll come tomorrow. I can unscrew this and slide the panel backwards. I'll be able to sand this up and do a veneer over the edge of it, probably. So this closes like so. And what we're gonna need is we're gonna do a trim panel so that when this closes, it covers here. So as we move this forward a couple inches, we'll wrap this in veneer, and as it goes back, it'll cover up this entire section. For the meantime, and for tonight, that's how that goes in, temporarily. And then when we go to service it, this will open like so, so we can get to the entire panel. And then when we want to get to the Quattro, this will actually... No. Slight miscalculation. I'll be cutting that open, I'll be cutting that higher, obviously, so this can tilt forward, and what we're able to get to the
Quattro.
we're able to get to the Quattro. So this will tilt forward. It's fine. Tilt forward, and then we'll be able to get to all of this here. I'll fix it.
All right, so now all we have left to do is to pull the wires in. We pull them left and right just to help keep track and balance our phases. After that, we'll strip and attach all of our feed wires from the inverter that you see me doing here. And then after that, every wire gets routed, stripped, crimped, and attached. So we have a nice, even, organized panel.
All right, guys, this is the finished panel. Of course, our touchscreen for our Serbo GX. This will be hooked up later. This is actually just a tank monitoring system that I haven't added yet. Of course, everybody recognizes a Victron BMV. We've got our bilge pumps, and then this entire row is our 12-volt circuits. This row down here in the middle is going to be our 120-volt circuits, and everything down below you can tell is double poles. That's all of our 240-volt circuits. Inside, we actually have some clean, nice, tidy wiring. You can see I've got a little bit left to do. I'm going to pull some more 12-volt off of the fuses and put them on switches. There you go. All right, I had some snarky comments about my, well, a disaster of a wiring, which is fair, I pulled all this extra wire in to make sure that when I wired up the breaker panel that I had the ability to have enough length on everything that I wasn't cutting and splicing everything together. So you saw what that looked like last week, and now I'll show you under here what it looks like now. So we've got some nice, this is our 3 aft array charge controllers. And then we've got our coach roof charge controllers here and here. And then our foredeck charge controllers. You can see we've got a nice, tight, clean bundles. They're running up here. We've got 120 volt bundles, 12 volt bundles, and that right there is our USB hub. That guy right there is what all the charge controllers talk to the Servo GX with. That's better. Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed this week's episode.
I bet you guys thought we forgot about our Victron giveaway from a few videos ago. Well, we are about to spin the wheel to figure out who is our lucky winner. I put a number to everybody's name who entered and put it into a random generator. So here we go. Drum roll, please. Lucky number 13 is Stephen Whiting. Thank you so much and congratulations. Make sure you reach out to us so that we can send this bad boy off to you, and we'll see you in the next one.
All right, I really hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. And as you can tell, it was a lot of work, but in our minds, definitely worth it to get some nice, cool, peaceful nights worth of sleep. And I'd like to also thank all of our patrons. You guys really have made a difference at helping us out to make all these videos possible. Everybody else, if you would like to help us out, please subscribe if you don't, and like this video if you do. And we'd love to see you guys here next week. Until then, happy sailing. So, again, I'd like to thank everybody for...